I saw this headline, so I knew I had to talk about it. Chinese space station, or pieces of it, will fall to Earth in March. Somewhere. Now, I don't know about you, but that's a little worrisome to me because, well, I don't want to be just walking down the street and all of a sudden a piece of the space station cracks me in the head. That makes me think of that scene in Armageddon where the two guys are arguing on the sidewalk about the dog attacking the Godzilla. Then the big fat guy gets plowed by a meteorite. I don't want that to be me. I'm just saying. Tiangong-1 received only 2 manned missions, and now most of it will burn up on re-entry. Okay, I'm fine with it burning up if they could just be sure to get it all, but it won't, so I'm a little concerned. Just a little. Sometime in March, a streak of fire will cross the sky as the Chinese space station Tiangong-1 falls out of orbit. But where it will fall, or how much of it will fall, nobody quite knows. Recent analysis by the Aerospace Corporation in California concludes that it will fall to Earth in mid-March, give or take 2 weeks. So, half a month. On September 30th, 2011, Tiangong-1 became China's first space station. There were only 2 manned missions to the 8-ton 12 by 3.3 meter station. However, in March 2016, Chinese officials announced they were no longer tracking the station. Its orbit would begin to decay and the station would burn as it falls to Earth. I'm sorry, but if you got something that size, your ass needs to be watching it. I mean, with all the space junk up there, it could knock some of that out, hit satellites, send it careening back to Earth. You know, it's a little irresponsible if you ask me, but due to several unknown elements such as Tiangong-1's orientation as it orbited and even the density of the Earth's atmosphere in a particular location, it's difficult to say precisely where or when it will fall. That still worries me just a little. Based on Tiangong-1's inclination, we can confidently say that this object will re-enter somewhere between 43 degrees north and 43 degrees south latitudes, the aerospace company recently said on its website. I'm sorry, but that doesn't sound like a big window of locations. Especially when you're considering it spans the globe. The good news is that most of the station will burn up during re-entry. However, there is a chance that small debris may reach the ground. So I guess in March, we're all going to have to start wearing hard helmets. It's a thought, you know. It might help, might not. Just saying. The date, time, and geographic footprint of the re-entry can only be predicted with large uncertainties, Holger Krag, head of European Space Agency's Space Debris Office, said in November. Even shortly before re-entry, only a very large time and geographical window can be estimated. God, I would hate to have that job. That's a little worse than a meteorologist. If they're off, people are crabby. If he's off, people could die. Well, admittedly, meteorologists could get people killed too, so. It's a little more stressful, but not by much. But as Earth is mostly water, there's a good chance it will fall into an ocean, and the area in which it will fall will span a few hundred kilometers. There is also zero probability that debris will fall over Canada. Well, good news, Canada. You're safe. One country down, about 100 and some odd to go. Not a first. While it may seem alarming that a metal object the size of a bus is going to fall to Earth, there is good news. In the history of spaceflight, no one has been killed by space debris. Yet. And it's not the first time a space station has fallen to Earth. In 1979, the United States' first space station, Skylab, fell to Earth. The 77-ton station also had a decaying orbit, mainly because NASA had focused so hard on getting it up, it didn't come up with a plan to return it to Earth. Because nerds can focus only on one thing at a time. While in parts of the world there was concern over where it would fall, in the US people actually threw Skylab parties. Because of course, any excuse to drink, we'll take. On July 11th, 1979, pieces both large and small, including part of an air tank, landed in Australia's outback. And that's a doozy. Yeah, still a little worrisome, but you know. Though China has not confirmed it, aerospace believes the re-entry of Tiangong is uncontrolled. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if they're not tracking it. In 2001, Russia's Mir space station, a whopping 120 tons, made a controlled re-entry into the Pacific Ocean. Yeah, I remember that. Though it's rare, sometimes a piece of rocket debris is seen burning up in the atmosphere. Last November, a fireball streaked across Saskatchewan and Alberta. U.S. Strategic Command confirmed it was part of the Antares rocket returning to Earth. But hey, you gotta remember, Canada, you're safe from this one. So, there's no worries there. But let's just hope everyone's safe. I mean, odds are people will be because, you know, the Earth's mostly water. But it's still a little worrying to me. But, you know, I am kind of paranoid. But, yeah. I just thought you guys enjoy hearing about this because, well, I'm a nerd. I like space, science, and tech. Enjoy!